What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful midweek Wednesday. Doing well myself. I come across this particular sad and tragic story right here with this mother. Her name is Bitterstein Wade. And she reported her son missing in March. Okay. Police kept the truth from her for months of what actually happened to her son. Turns out that when he left our house, they had some sort of type of disagreement. They had been arguing, whatever. And he left the house and he never returned. Okay. She got worried about him. Okay. And basically, she questioned the police for at least 5 to 7 months on had they heard anything. They lied and they stringed her along and said no, they hadn't heard anything. Turns out that the investigator that was in charge of the investigation actually quit. He quit, and a new hire investigator took over the case, right? And he told this woman what happened to her son. And what happened to her son was he was walking down an interstate, and a off-duty police officer ran over him and killed him. Okay? It doesn't stop there. Of course, they covered it up. All right. But where it even gets worse is that not only did they lie to her saying they didn't know, where he was or what have you, they had already buried her son. They buried her son. Okay. And well, she found this stuff out, the hard way. And then to add insult to injury, when she did find out, she had to actually buy the rights back to his body to give him a proper burial. Okay. They actually buried him in government funded prison cemetery, basically. Okay. So without further ado, let's check these couple of videos out and then we'll complete the commentary.
Now to our NBC News exclusive. A mother in Mississippi searching for her missing son, only to learn that he had been struck and killed by a police car, and no one had told her for nearly 6 months. Blaine Alexander reports on what she's demanding.
The last time Bitterstein Wade saw her son Dexter, the two had an argument and he left the house. But 3 days later, when her 37-year-old still hadn't come home, she knew something was wrong.
He's never disappeared like that.
He never disappeared like that. He never.
Within 2 weeks, she filed a police report. For months, her calls to police got the same response: no update.
Help me understand what that time was like for you.
That time was horrible. You would lay in your bed. You would think he might have been out there suffering. Somebody might have had him, torturing him. You just want that call to say, Mom, I'm all right. I'm all right. All you want to do is see your child.
Then, in August, nearly 6 months after Dexter went missing, an investigator finally told her Dexter had been hit and killed by an off-duty Jackson police officer while crossing a highway. It had happened less than an hour after he left home that day in March. Then, another bombshell. Dexter had already been buried in an unmarked grave behind the county jail. The only sign, a pole with the number 672.
Dexter, I tried to find you, and I couldn't. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry you're here.
You saw buzzards circling, and you're talking about a frightening thought. Did they even put him in a wood box? Or did they just put him in a body bag and drop him in the ground?
Jackson police have not responded to NBC's request for comment. According to the coroner's office, an investigator identified Dexter and shared contact information for his mother with police. But she says she never received a call. After NBC News broke this story last week, Jackson's mayor said this:
that at no point have we identified or did any investigation reveal that there was any police misconduct in this process and that there was any malicious intent.
Do you believe that?
No,
Attorney Ben Crump says they're asking for the DOJ to open a civil rights investigation. They also plan to exhume the body and perform a private autopsy before giving Dexter a proper burial.
And lay some flowers there, and just to know he's in a safe place.
Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Jackson, Mississippi.
City of Jackson responding tonight after a mother was left in the dark after searching for her son for almost 6 months with no information on where he could be.
Now she finds out he was killed the same night she last saw him. Reader Side's Nathan Lee has her exclusive interview. Nathan?
172 days is how long Betterstein Wade has waited until she was told by a detective her son Dexter Wade was killed just 4 blocks from her home. This comes after she reached out to his friends, Jackson Police Department, and multiple detectives. Wade filed a missing persons report on March 14th, 9 days after she last saw Dexter. She would not receive any information on her son until August 24th. That was when a detective told her that Dexter was killed by a JPD cruiser while he was walking on the interstate. Wade was also told that her son was buried at the Pomper Cemetery before she knew where he was or if he was alive.
I gave y'all all opportunity in the world. I mean, if they didn't even do it the 14th, before they even put him in the ground, they had the opportunity to come to my doorstep and say, Miss Wade, we getting ready to bury your son. I had to buy him back from the state. I had to pay $250 just to get his body rights back.
Wade says they will be moving Dexter's body from the Pomper Cemetery. In a statement we just received from the city of Jackson, officials say that the investigation found no malicious intent by Jackson police staff. You can read their entire account of the events on the story on WLBT.com. Nathan Lee, 3 on your side.
Now, there's no doubt in my mind that this was a cover-up, simply because the whatever this police department is, you know what I mean, the name of it is, had a run-in with this woman's brother in 2019, where it is said that basically, well, I'll just let this news clip show you what I'm talking about. Check this out.
Family of a man who was killed after being struck by an off-duty Jackson police officer is speaking out, along with civil rights attorney Ben Crump. 12 News' Tia McKenzie reports on the family's ongoing fight for justice.
The Department of Justice is being called on to investigate following the death of 37-year-old Dexter Wade.
My mama said, Betsy, I dreamed that police officer killed Dexter. I said, oh, mama. I said, that don't happen to everybody.
In the midst of grief, a Jackson family is still seeking answers after their loved one was killed and buried in a pauper's field.
But this time, he did not come back. He did not call.
Betterstein Wade last saw her son March 5th. She reported him missing on March 14th, but did not discover he was dead until late August.
The coroner was saying, have you called her? Have you called her? Have you called her? Have you made contact?
Betterstein Wade and her family say it's a story they know too well. Her brother was killed by a JPD officer in 2019. Attorney Dennis Sweet III says the case defies logic.
My son and I, Miss Wade, her sister, we know each other well. Her brother was beaten to death over here, right behind Jackson State.
My Lord.
A stone's throw from here. He was 62 years old. He had a stroke. He'd been at the hospital 10 days.
Wade's family says all they want is transparency.
Tell us the truth. Show us that you love us as much as we love Jackson.
Attorney Crump says a prescription bottle was found on Wade the night he was struck. He calls the case a, quote, cop killer cover-up. Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba addressed the incident at the State of the City address Thursday, calling the situation tragic and that there was miscommunication between departments.
I'm just dealing with my rights.
Amen. Amen.
I'm just speaking out for my rights.
A petition will be filed to exhume Wade's body so that he can have a proper funeral. Reverend Al Sharpton and the National Action Network will help the family coordinate the funeral. In Jackson, Tia McKenzie, 12 News.
Well, it's apparent that the coroner did what they were supposed to do. They stayed on the police, JD, whatever that place is, you understand, to do their job, to contact this woman right here, and they would not do it. So therefore, you cannot convince me that it wasn't a cover up, being that they had a, past altercation that resulted in the life taken of this woman's brother right here back in 2019. You understand? When they you ain't gonna tell me they didn't know who this young man was after this so-called accident of this off-duty police officer running over him while he was trying to cross the road. You understand? Another thing, why are they concealing the identity of the officer that's responsible for this man's demise right here? That tells you right there, there's another red flag that tells you it's a cover up. It is a cover up. There's no excuse for this. I'm sure in a situation like this, any other situation, if it wasn't a cover up, things would have got addressed when this particular situation happened. Meaning, after this man was accidentally hit and killed, you understand, they would have got in touch with that man's mother or whoever his next of kin was. Maybe at least, if not that particular night, it would have happened maybe the next day. You see what I'm saying? If it wasn't a cover up. No, they knew what they were doing. You understand? And I think that the officer that's responsible for this and all the rest of them should be brung, to light and to face charges. You understand? And definitely a lawsuit. JDP or JBT, whatever, police department, whatever. Can't get that right. But yeah, they need to face a lawsuit for this. And that mayor, oh man, how can he stand there and say that there wasn't basically nothing nefarious going on in this particular situation? He knows better than that. At this point, he's basically caping for the police department. And that's just the way I think about it. But I want you guys to tell me in the comment section how you feel about it. Do you think that it was something nefarious going on in this situation? I'm interested in hearing your thoughts and opinions on it in the comment section. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.